All right, now we're going to take a look at geometric sequences. Here's a checklist for that. First thing you're going to do, divide the second term by the first term. So, first step, divide the second term by the first term. You're going to get an answer. With that answer, you're going to take your answer and multiply it to your second term. Okay, so step one, divide second term by the first term. Take your answer and multiply it to the second term. And you're going to get one of two things. You're either going to get the third term, which is, this is 3a. If you get the third term, keep repeating that process. It's probably going to be geometric. Or 3b, after you multiplied your answer by your second term, if you do not get the third term, then guess what? It's not geometric. You can stop right there. So we're going to take that concept and we're going to do a few examples here. All right, I'm going to take that concept and do a few examples here. Let me zoom in so we can see everything that's going on here. Okay, so remember, our first step is we take our second term divided by our first term. So second term is 3 divided by our first term, which is 1. So 3 divided by 1 is 3. Now all we have to do is we take that 3 and we multiply it by our second term. So we take this 3 and we multiply it times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Perfect. That checks off. So we're going to repeat the process. Times that by 3. 9 times 3, is that 27? It is. So we check it off. Guess what? This is geometric. It is geometric. Because it's multiplying by 3 over and over again. Let's take a look at another example. Again, first step, take our second term, which is 4 here, divided by our first term, which is -2. So 4 divided by -2 is -2, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our answer and multiply it times -2. Multiply it by the second term. So what is 4 times -2? Well, that's -8, so that checks off. What's -8 times -2? Well, negative times negative is a positive. 8 times 2 is 16. So that is geometric. That is geometric. Again, geometric deals a lot with multiplying. Let's take a look at this third example. So we're going to take our second term, which is 10, divided by our first term, which is 5. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we're going to take 2, and we're going to multiply it by our second term. So times 2. So what is 10 times 2? Is 10 times 2 15? It is not 15. It's 20. So because it's not 15, this is not geometric. It's not geometric. Again, it's got to be the next term. It can't skip terms. It's got to be the next term. Let's take a look at this next example here. We're taking our second term, which is 25, divided by 125. Well, 25 divided by 125, probably need your calculator for that, but that's going to be 1 over 5, so 1/5. 1/5. Okay, and it's okay that we got a fraction. So 25 times 1 over 5, again, you can use your calculator for this, but I'm letting you know, 25 times 1/5 is 5. Okay, it is 5. And then you take that 5 and you multiply it by 1/5. And 5 times 1/5 is 1. So that works. So that is geometric. It's okay if you get a fraction. It's okay if you get a fraction. I had a bad example I didn't like. So I actually made a new example right here. So we're going to take a look at this. The last example here, we have our second term, which is -16, divided by our first term, which is 32. And again, you can use your calculator. I'm just kind of letting you know the answer here is going to be -1/2. -1/2 is what we're going to use. All right, so we take -1/2 and we multiply it, -1/2 times -16. Well, a negative times a negative is a positive. 16 times half. Really what that's saying is what is half of 16? And that is 8. So that works. What is 8 times negative 1/2? And again, you can use your calculator for this. I know the answers already, so that's why I know if these work or not. Well, positive times a negative is a negative. 8 times half, really all that's saying is what is half of 8, and half of 8 is 4. So that works. So that is geometric. Okay, again, I didn't go into any formulas there. No recursive formula, no explicit formula. But I did show you a step-by-step on how to find out by looking at a sequence if it's geometric or not. Go back and watch this video to understand a little bit more. Also go back and watch the arithmetic sequence video to figure out how to figure out if it's arithmetic or not. These are very similar process, very similar checklists, but you have to know the difference. Hope these help, and again, comment and let me know if I need to make more videos in the future.